Hi, everybody.
Hello, Pat.
Hello, my dear Miss
She has
Reynolds.
good-looking legs, doesn't she? My goodness. All right. Hello, good afternoon, everybody. We're very excited to be here because it's shady. The sun went away. Okay, Pat, hit it.
And of course, you all see this, Unsinkable, a memoir by Miss Burbank, 1948, and a star ever since, Debbie Reynolds.
I'm still alive. Are you surprised? I am. Every day I wake up, I say, oh my God, I'm still here. I can't believe it.
Of course,
I'm delighted.
well, the title comes from Molly Brown, but after reading the book, I thought she was a wuss compared to you and what you've had to go through.
You're right. You're right. She only had one lifeboat, a lot of waves. I had 3 husbands and a lot of shit. Are we recording this? Every time I say anything, it's Debbie said a bad word. Oh, I'm so old now, it doesn't matter what I say.
As a consequence of this, you are the hardest working woman in show business.
I am, actually. I don't know. I'm always afraid if I turn the job down, I'll never get another one. So I just keep saying yes. But I'm almost through. This is my last year to perform.
Really?
Yeah.
How many years have you been saying that?
I've said it forever, since I'm 10 years old or so. But I think I want to travel a little. Not really, I don't want to travel. I want to stay home, actually. And go to bed by myself. Yeah, I don't want that other action.
You wrote in the bed you've been exhausted, or in the book you've been exhausted since you were 16. And maybe that goes along with what you were saying earlier.
In my diary, every day it says, I'm very tired. Cancel the next time. Don't come here. I'm very tired. That's for years I keep saying that, but yet I keep wanting. Well, I love performing, so that I love. Because I'm happiest to, really actually like saying hello to you folks, because I enjoy this. Because I'm visiting. I call it visiting, where you just say hello to people you don't know, but then in a minute you do. Because I've known you all, well, long before. I'm the one that's the eldest. Nobody here beats me. Because I'm 81. Anybody over there? Ah, one lady. Oh, the young man, he's 12 years old. What are you, 18? 20, yes, you're an old fart. He's like...
You wrote at one point about your daughter Carrie in the scene in Star Wars being stuck in a trash compactor on a starship with a slimy thing after you, and you thought that would have been great compared to what you went through.
Well, I married badly, but then, it's not my husband's fault that they were assholes. I mean, some people have good taste and some people don't, and I don't. Well, they probably were really nice, maybe some other way, I don't know. It didn't work out for me, but I have 2 wonderful children, because Carrie says, my daughter Sarah says, Mother, isn't it interesting that Eddie, the worst, was turning out to be the good one? That's how bad my taste is. Look at these young people. Hi, I'm Princess Leia's mother.
That's a good book title.
The kids don't, that people don't even know who Princess Leia is. Even my children are getting too old for me.
But because of these husbands, you have worked and worked and worked.
Yeah.
You've
Well, they're
gone
expensive.
broke, you've made it.
Men are expensive. Men that aren't worth anything are expensive. But they had a good time. They really did at my
It seems
expense.
so.
I could have shopped all day without any of them.
And yet the ingenuity and the hard work that you displayed every time.
I have worked like a dog my whole life, but you see, it's because I really love to perform, so it's not like work. Honestly, to me, dancing is not like it. I mean, it's really hard work, but it makes you so happy. I love music. Music and dancing makes you feel happy, no matter how old you are. And what that doesn't matter. It's music turns you on. It really does. Nothing else does. Ask my husbands.
What do you?
think about that later and you go, you know what she meant?
Is this audience old enough for this discussion? I don't know.
They got it. The kids down here. He's 5. He got it. He went. He's 20. We got a 5-year-old man.
And blushing.
Is that, yeah.
What do you think of musicals nowadays? You were in the heyday of Hollywood musicals.
I don't know if they make any musicals. They don't make them. What do they make?
No.
I mean, on television, you have Glee. That's a happy show. Yeah, I think that's very good. They're very good. The kids are great. You know, the talent is there. It's just you don't have the producers today, the studio system, the golden era, like you used to have. So you don't have the opportunities. It's not the talent that isn't there. The talent is there. You know, so it's just they don't find the. See, they used to write the scripts just for the people. I mean, like Singing in the Rain was not a great script, but they just put it together so you had great numbers and great dancing. How can you miss if you make people laugh and you make them wonderful music? You can't miss. Cichere's legs alone was worth the ticket. Donald O'Connor running up the side of the thing and coming back was worth the ticket. I wasn't bad myself.
If the public is still, of course, if the public still wants them, is it just the cost of making them? Hollywood doesn't want to take chances? The end of the studio system, maybe?
Well, I think Hollywood takes chances. You know, they just made Behind the Candelabra. That turned out to be good, the picture. I mean, I didn't like that they depicted only the sexual part of Liberace, because Liberace was so fabulous, so talented, so gifted as a musician, you know. So I hated that they laid on the expression laid. It gave away the plot. Never mind.
It's hard to believe she went into a swanky restaurant and ordered milk when she was a starlet. Just listen to her now.
Well, on my first date, I had like an adult date. I was very young. I was very innocent because I was raised. My family were Nazarene. I don't know if you've ever heard of a Nazarene. It's a religion like Hardshell Baptist or something like that. So it's strict, and you couldn't smoke, and you didn't drink, and I wasn't allowed to do anything, and I didn't want to because you go to hell. That's what the preacher tells you. If you do this and you do that, if you can't do it, otherwise you're going to go to. So I believe that. I didn't know what it looked like or if it was really there or anything, but you know, if they say so, because they're grown up. Isn't that right? Did any of you ever believe that way? Because you're sort of, what is that word, puritanical or some word that I did. Well, you believed everything, what you were told, and I can't be gay because I mean, I just don't understand why I'm acting like this. I'm not allowed to be gay. You know, we never had the word. The word gay was happy. I don't gay. You adopted gay. I like gay myself, if you don't mind it. But anyway, it turned out homosexual was gay. Now we weren't allowed to be, right? Everybody had to hide in the closet. So no, really, I'm in the right area to talk about this. Everybody that worked for me, you know, as a dancer was gay. I mean, I thought they were homosexual, but I found out they were just happy. Which doesn't always work out. You can pick the wrong gay person and be as unhappy as Debbie. You can have bad taste too, you know. Over the years I had over 100 boys, I'll say, work for me and are still my dear, dear friends. I mean, that's a way of life. We didn't ask for this, right? That's a hard life. We didn't pick it. Go ahead, this is too serious. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask about Liberace, where you played his mother. It was much acclaimed, very popular, and there you were playing a Hungarian mom.
Yes, she was Polish.
Polish.
And, to talk like this. Well, I knew Mrs. Liberace because I knew Lee. He and I were really good friends, and I was at the Desert Inn at Las Vegas, and I played there for years and years and years. And Lee played at the Hilton, and he was so wonderful, the sweetest man in the whole world. But he was very attracted to young, gorgeous blondes. He was. I just loved him. And they loved him because he gave them Rolls Royces or whatever they wanted, because he loved company. He was very lonesome, and so I fitted in because I was nothing. I was like, I don't know what I am. I've never thought about it. I'm just sort of an individually nut. I think I'm a nut.
But you fit in so many places.
Well, of course I fit in everywhere because I love everybody. I have no prejudice of any kind. Nothing at all. People have, I was lucky because my mother was not prejudiced. My daddy was prejudiced, but I was brought up not to be prejudiced at all and to love everybody, even if they're stinkers, and straight. Because they do come in bad packages. At least I find them. So I was very fortunate because I had a really normal childhood. No money, but just normal and love everybody and very religious. So and no drinking allowed, no liquor ever allowed. I never knew anything about any of that because you weren't allowed that. So it was late. I was a late bloomer, let's say, because when I found out what fun it was to drink, I haven't stopped. I only like cheap white wine, but you can have me over.
White's infidel.
I'm an easy guest. I don't want champagne. Just bring me that cheap white wine.
White's infidel, right?
White's infidel.
Right.
Behringer.
Everybody make sure
Send me a bottle. I've had a wonderful life. I've had a lot of fun, and I love the fact that I was born really poor, raised really poor. So I really appreciate everything that I have, or that I've achieved, or that I've lost. I still have had a glorious life, great fun, and still am, and I'm still alive, which is so fascinating. I can't get over it.
You played Liberace's mother. You played against Albert Brooks as a mother, but you weren't cast as yourself in Postcards from the Edge. You were the wrong type, they said.
Postcards from the Edge, my daughter wrote a book, and it was mostly about. The book was about herself and her addiction, and so she just loves that. But you die, of course. So I said, you can't do that. You just can't have that. Shit, you can't have it. So we've always had this. If you're born manic depressive or you have an illness that's of the mind, it's very hard to remain without problems. It's easier if you're just born a nutcase. Like I just always, when I was young especially. Now I've gotten more serious because life has been a little heavy sometimes, and so I've had a lot to deal with, but God is good to me, and I just take it, as I can, day by day, like AA. Is it AA?
Yes.
Is that what it's called?
3 A's is the automobile club.
Oh, it's the I'd rather belong to the automobile club.
But
I just don't understand AA. So anyway, she wrote this, and I said, this is a great part, I'd like to play the mother, since I am. And the director, now who's the director? Mike Nichols said to me, well, Debbie, I don't think you're right for the part. I said, well, I do. I think I'm perfect for the part because I love to sing at parties because it kicks the party up. Why do you want a boring party? And I was raised in the movies. Everybody got up and entertained. Mickey, Rooney, Judy Garland, everybody. You got up and entertained. That was just expected. So when you got to the party, you were just going to always join in because if it was boring, and some parties are boring, but not if I'm there. So, or Judy, or other people. Some people like to party. I just like a party to be gay. You don't have to be gay to be there, but gay is still my word. Sorry.
You write that
happy.
that your daughter was the poster girl for mental health, and things are different in Hollywood from when you first started because those things were kept very much under wraps.
Well, mental health was not, yeah, but gay and manic depressive bipolar wasn't even discovered. Nobody even knew what was the matter with you if you were depressed all the time and, you know, have severe melancholy and, you know, they always blame it on the mother anyway. Why not? So, is that your dog? He's so cute. Is that a she in your arms? It's a boy? I've never seen one behave so well. Isn't that a cute little doggy? Can you see him? He's in her arms right over there. Raise your hand. Show you're alive, that lady. With the dog! The lady with the dog! We don't have a dog on this side. We just have a dog on that side. Is that right? Tell that lady to raise her hand. Look there! There, you knew. I thought you were alive. Isn't he cute? He's so cute. Oh, thanks for bringing him. He doesn't understand a word we're saying. Isn't that adorable? I love little animals. Oh, anyway, that's why I married so badly.
But the idea of stars coming out and talking about their problems, do you think it helps the world or people at large to think, gee, if she can talk about that, I can come to terms with it?
I think yes, I think it's good to be serious for a minute. It's always good whenever we have something that's in us that we can't share with anybody because everybody's going to condemn you or criticize an area of you that you can't help. Because mental illness, you can't help. And so it's better if you could share your problems. And so my daughter is now she's what I call out, you know. I mean, she talks about being manic depressive, but she's just doing so well, and she's a wonderful writer. She's very funny, and you know, she's funnier than me, and I'm rather amusing at times. She didn't get anything from her father, so not even an old gold record, nothing. So I think it's better to come out. You be out of the closet, even the boys, you know. I mean, it's nobody chooses to have all this pain, but it's better if you can share. Anything in life is better if you can have some friends. Oh, we have a dog fight? How exciting. Speaking of coming out.
The question session's a little later, guys, so you can say your
Oh, kissing in the park, kissing in the park. There'll be none of that now. We're having an interview up here. Aren't they cute little dogs? You can't mate a poodle and a brown dog. Or maybe you can. I don't know. I'm not going to make a joke about that.
I was
Everyone
going
will
to bring
criticize
up your
me.
husbands again, so I don't know if that's...
Oh, well, they couldn't get up anyway. It's okay.
I was so...
You can talk about it.
I was shocked to read that in your roller coaster fortunes, at one point you were sleeping in your car. Debbie Reynolds, you were sleeping in your car.
Well, when life becomes hard and you lose, your husband takes all the money away and, you know, mismanages it, and yes, it's disgusting. And you're left without any funds except what you work. You know, you work and work, but everything goes to bills. And I was raising his 3 children, my 2, so I had 5, and they're expensive. Children are very expensive. And so life at times is difficult. So I lost all my homes, and not that everybody hasn't. I'm sure many of you here today. Is it daytime, Debbie? Why is tonight? See, she can't get anything right. I was without homes, and so I slept in my car. I had an old Chevy, and I slept, but I don't like it. I don't like being homeless. It's not, don't laugh at people that are homeless. It's horrible. It's colder than hell. And there's nothing funny about it. And I feel so badly that we even have it in the country like America. But there's a lot of things I disapprove of, like the entire Congress and the entire legislature and the entire Senate. And so everything's a mess, isn't it? Oh, we're just going to shut down for a week or 2. And we'll just owe the rest of the world, that's all. 17 trillion now. It's 7 actually, for the boy that's 20. I know you don't know shit about any of this, but it's called the world problems. But you have your own to work with. All right. Well, anyway, I don't get into politics.
Did you feel pigeonholed or typecast in your films? You made things like Rat Race and some serious stuff.
But see, Rat Race was with Tony Curtis, and none of you here have probably seen any of my movies because they're so old now. Oh, there's a young man in a pink shirt. You saw you run
That's
old
why
movies.
They're here.
Oh, you're not old, but you're cute. Oh, don't worry about it. You know, you're with a cute girl. Your life is set. Forget it. Just come out and be whatever. Don't worry about it. You know, if people say, "Oh my goodness," just say "screw." Shove off. Anyway, Rat Race was the Tony Curtis and myself many, many years ago. It was a fun picture. What was your question? I forgot about
You
it.
felt typecast or pigeonholed at all?
I made a lot of those pictures that are cute, like I didn't make the beach pictures, you know, like Sandra Dee and Annette Funicello or whatever. I'm glad I didn't have to make those.
Because the swimsuit was involved?
Well, no, I was adorable. I had
Agreed.
I was so cute. Everything was up. Oh, yeah. Not as big, but it was up. So I'm just glad they were just dingy, silly scripts. And a lot of mine were too, but some of them were terrific that I really enjoyed making, like Mother with Albert Brooks. And along the way, we made How the West Was Won, which is a great picture.
With Gregory Peck.
And Gregory Peck was so cute. Really. That was a good-looking man and a nice man. All the leading men I worked with, I really liked. The only one that I had an argument with ever was Walter Matthau, because he was so crazy. You remember Walter Matthau, The Odd Couple? He was so funny. He was wild to work with, because he never memorized his words or anything. You know, he just would ad-lib, and you went along with it. Well, you had to just go along with him because he was going to just do whatever. And one day we had a scene where he had to, you know, like throw me over his back. But I had forgotten where we had that to do in the scene. And he just didn't really care. He threw me over his shoulder, and I hadn't worn any panties because what a thing to forget. Speaking of coming out. So he threw me over his shoulder, and my rear end was right towards the camera. Talk about a close-up. That was the only picture I didn't get along with. I got so mad at him. I was so mad. I hit him. I kicked him. I said, "You have to find out what people are supposed to do." He said, "Well, people do wear underwear, you know. Why'd you leave it off?" I said, "Frankly, I forgot about it. I don't know why I left it off. I'd never left it before. Could have saved my marriage if I'd known that." Anyway.
The second shocker in your book to me is that the first time you went to the Oscars, you wore an $11 dress.
Well, I didn't have any money. When I first went under contract to MGM, I was a little young girl. I was 17. And when I first started out, I was 16. So, I mean, you know, they said I was going to announce the cinematography, which I didn't. I made a mistake because I'd never heard of that word, cinematographer. So I said cinematography. I said it all wrong. And the dress I bought was $11 at Lerner's. And it looked real cute. And it was my own. I paid for it. Nowadays, those are free. What everybody gets today, you know, all the jewelry and everything's loaned to them. That's a good deal. We didn't have that in my day. You had to pay for your own, so we didn't have that. But we had the better time. We had the golden era. We had Cary Grant. Oh, my God, he was so cute. And Clark Gable. And
You wrote very sadly about Clark Gable being ushered off the lot at MGM with barely
It was a sad ending because he was let go, just fired, and he was there 30 years, and there wasn't even a gold watch. There wasn't a goodbye Clark. And I think the sad endings it should have been a huge party, Or if he didn't want it, which I'm sure he did not want that, but at least a goodbye. It would have been nice for the MGM to have been more polite, more kind. But sometimes the world is not kind. You sleepy, sir? He's yawning. Did you have to get, did they make you come here today? Well, you never know, the world is getting very tough.
The reason I asked about the $11 dress is to transition into what I think you have done as an immense service to Hollywood. Your collection of props, costumes, and your lifelong quest for a Hollywood museum, which it's a shock and a disgrace that this city should not have taken you up on this, honored you, and made it work.
No, I just felt this is Hollywood, and we should keep our own. And it should be here for people to come to Hollywood to see all the beautiful costumes. But I did collect for 50 years. So I collected when nobody did. And so I was able to buy the beautiful costumes like My Fair Lady and Marilyn Monroe's subway dress, all the greats and Barbara Streisand's gold dress from Hello Dolly, and et cetera, et cetera. I had 5,000 costumes, beautiful, for a museum. But I was never able to convince the Academy to build it. Now they're talking about building it.
Yeah, they are.
Now maybe I pushed them along. If I did in any way, I'll be really happy. But you see, I had an auction and I sold. Everything went to Europe.
So the great dispersal
very
of
sad.
all the great items of Hollywood. You began, well, you may have begun earlier, but when MGM was selling things, you were there buying things up that were otherwise going to be consigned to the
Well, I
trash
was at the MGM had this big auction and they sold everything. Rosebuds, bushes, you know what I mean? Everything on the lot, which was 70 years of collecting. And it was a very sad period, and I just thought it was disgraceful that they were selling everything. There was beautiful Paul Newman and Audrey Hepburn and Katharine Hepburn and Greta Garbo and Mae West and Charlie Chaplin. I can't tell you the names, and just bulks of costumes. And each costume cost maybe $10,000 to make, and they were selling it for $50. So, it was just breaking my heart. I couldn't stand it. So I went to the bank and borrowed the money. I bought for those days, I borrowed a lot of money, and it took me years and years to pay it back. But I did. I paid it back, and then I was just really hopeful. I just knew it would work out. But you don't get everything in life, and so maybe something else is meant to be. And I hope and pray that they do build a museum, and I hope I get a free ticket.
But as you point out, the stuff's already gone.
A lot of the stuff is gone. Maybe they'll loan it back, because what are you going to do with it? Hang it in your closet? See, I built a big warehouse and all that to take really good care of it. But what are you going to do with it? But you're not going to loan it until it's really for sure that someone's not going to steal it.
Which happened to you?
Yeah. Well, it happened 6 times that the museum was going to be built by different companies going to put up the money, but they never did. So it just didn't, it wasn't meant to be, I guess. It's very sad.
But it was a vindication of your judgment in a way when, for example, the Marilyn Monroe subway scene dress from Some Like It Hot went for more than $4 million.
$4,700,000. Isn't that a nice figure? Suited her figure. It was a nice figure. And Audrey Hepburn was $3 million something for My Fair Lady. The things went, the red shoes, the ruby red slippers, and the Maltese folk, and it brought top dollar. And before that, it was never established how much anything was worth. So after my auction, now it's established that certain things are worth a good deal of money. So there was a price put on it now, and so now they have a formula to follow, and I'm rich. It's a good tag.
You deserve it.
Yes.
After all you've gone through.
Yes, I've gone through a lot, and I'm really delighted. I don't shop, but it's very nice just to count it.
You said the 2 hardest things you've done are childbirth and singing in the rain.
Yeah. Yes, that's
Why?
true.
Childbirth we know
Have
about.
you ever
Singing in
had
the Rain.
childbirth?
Childbirth is what those
terrible.
drugs are about,
Oh,
making
my-
you forget for the next time.
God, it's like a bowling ball, trying to get a bowling ball out of your, oh my goodness. Oh, that doesn't roll. I can assure you of that. Get a finger in there. Anyway, giving birth, my son was 9 pounds, 3 ounces. I don't know. I know, it's ridiculous. And he's straight. I don't understand it. But anyway, that was a tough one. That was tough. So what was the other question?
Why Singing in the Rain?
Oh,
is
Singing in the Rain was only
childbirth?
hard because I didn't know. I was so young and I hadn't danced. That was my first dancing. Can you believe? I had never danced before. How can you suddenly dance, be the lead in a movie with Gene Kelly? How is that possible? I mean, they did that. They took a chance on a little girl from Burbank. And before that, Texas. But I was 7 when I came to Burbank, Miss Burbank. Big deal. So that they took a chance on me. It's remarkable. And then I had to learn all this in 6 months. So it was really a lot of work, and my feet would bleed and all that. Gene would just say, rehearse it some more. Look at your yawning too. Well, I've got a joke I can tell you. What did the man say? So that there's a little old lady, and Willie Nelson is playing his guitar, and everyone's dancing, and the little old lady said, oh, I'm so excited. Anybody here can guess what's in my hand can go to bed with me tonight. And this little old man jumps up and he says, an elephant. She said, close enough. He's awake, he's awake. He had to sit right down front in the first row.
There's
God's
always one.
sakes. You were the laziest one. You were reading my book all night? Till 6:30, and that kept your attention? You have very little to do. At 6:30, I guess you don't want to do it, okay.
People talk about Hollywood's golden age, which always seems to be 2 generations before wherever we are now. Where do you think of Hollywood's golden age?
2 generations before where we are now? Is
Yeah.
that what they call it?
So now it's the 50s. Where would you put it? You think the 50s are the
Well,
golden age?
no, I think the 50s were 40s, 50s. Yeah. The movies were wonderful. They've lasted. I don't know if every movie you see is going to last. Now, there's some really good ones, that I've seen. But you name me who do you think? Which of the movies nowadays, which one is going to go down in history? Other than My Fair Lady, which is already old. That was great, of course. Sound of Music, but after that, after the Sound of Music, what one?
Titanic. A suggestion over here.
Schindler's List, but that was so sad. Schindler's List, I was sick for
They cut
3
the
days.
dancing numbers out, I hear.
I married Jews, I was so unhappy. It was sad. It will go down in history, but it was so, if you can overcome, yes, it's a great picture, but it didn't make you happy, Whereas the pictures I'm talking about, really, even Dark Victory, I cried, but I didn't sob myself to death. Schindler's List, I haven't seen it yet because I can't. I'll end it. I mean, I know I'll just succumb. They'll say, what happened to her? I don't know. There's a pile of salt right over there. This right over there, and her wig is on top. I don't know. I think it's Debbie Reynolds. You're kidding me. She didn't take her wig with her? I can't believe it.
What movies do you
Yes,
watch?
I wear wigs. Look at the lady. She wears a wig. I'm not doing my hair.
What movies do you watch?
Sit
these
there for
days?
7 hours doing your hair for what? For this guy who's going to sleep? Jesus. It's tough enough to get ready.
What movies do you watch these days?
What do I watch?
What movies do you like to watch?
Anything that's in bed. I want to be in bed, I mean. Television, I just want to watch what Turner Classic Movies. That's what I watch. I mean, I'm sure HBO, but I can't figure it out. I can't. It doesn't matter because Debbie is inept. I can't figure out which thing you push, and then they have everything. I'm an old person. I can. It's just too hard. I don't know how to fix the channel.
So you can't change the channel when your movies
I cannot
come on?
do anything. I'm like this guy here. I was up all night.
Trying to figure out HBO?
I read books. It's ridiculous.
You also tweet.
I tweet? No, I don't tweet. I have a wonderful
So
friend.
somebody, Debbie Reynolds,
Her
one
name is
not
Dory
you.
Hanaway.
Who's sitting right over there.
She's right there, yeah, in the yellow. And my other friend, what's his name? Let's see. Down. They do it. They're young. I can't. Well, you have to just have a brain. If I ever have a brain. I'm not good at it. Sorry, boys. I just can't do it. Want to come over and do it? I mean the TV channel. I don't want you to get anything else out, because I wouldn't know what to do with it. If it rose on its own, I'd have to go into church, pray. Oh yeah. I don't want to confuse you. What happens?
I'd like to start. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. No.
I'd like to start getting some questions, but before we do, where is
Questions?
our microphone? There we go. Before we do, can you sing a little bit for us?
Oh. Isn't that sweet? Isn't that sweet? To ask me to sing. No, I don't want to.
Okay. Maybe you'll have
I'm
better
going to
luck than I.
Vegas. I'll be in Vegas something right in a week. I thought 2 weeks I'll be at the South Shore.
All right.
And I'll be entertaining there. I'm really not going to quit. You know, I'm going to keep going because I'm like George Burns. I'm going to stay on the stage till I drop dead. Then I'm going to have myself stuffed like Trigger.
And put in the new Hollywood
I'm going
Museum.
to put me in the museum. Then I'll sing. Da 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 da. Tammy's in love. See, I'll sing in the museum. Put a quarter in.
Let's see who's got questions. And we do want questions. not
Questions, the
speeches or
man in the
auditions.
red sweatshirt, t-shirt.
All right, we'll go
Whatever.
there, and then the lady in the yellow cap.
Oh, microphone.
We'll hang on to the mic for audio reasons. Thanks.
Actually, this isn't a question. It's a reminder of something that I enjoyed with you back in 1971.
Oh, don't tell them.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, it worked?
We actually came to your show in Vegas.
Yes.
And that night, we went backstage to say hello to you. And you took us upstairs to show us a movie, The Women.
Oh.
And then afterwards, Lorna Luft was in the audience, Judy Garland's other daughter. And the whole night you spent entertaining us all. After we saw the movie, we went out into the lounge and your dancers were there. Do you remember someone named
Were we
Fred?
drinking?
I'm glad you said it.
Oh, but wait, did we have? We had fun.
You had your bottle of white wine.
Well,
And all the
yes.
comments you made through the movie The Women,
Uh-huh.
because it was all about divorce, and that was just about the time that you had gone through yours.
Which
So,
one?
I don't know. Anyway, it was an incredible night that you kept us entertained with Lorna Luft until the sun came out. So that's just a thank you.
Oh,
Oh, we did have fun. I love to have a party. I really do. I call it sit about, because nowadays with pot and all, you just get stoned. Nobody says a word. It's like, are you having fun? How long have you smoked pot? It's unbelievable. I went to a party and they were smoking. Everybody was very young, and so they gave me some and I smoked and nothing happened. And so I thought, well, this is a bore. What's something supposed to happen? Pot is pot. Something's pot. Something. Nothing. And everybody got more quiet, and then they were like almost sleeping. So I stood up and I said, you are so boring. It is like being in a cemetery. I mean, I've just got to go. I have to leave. Nobody was telling jokes. Nobody had an interesting story. They were just, it was just something I don't like. I think if you're ill and you need it, to loosen up and feel better, fine. It's fine. In fact, I don't get into any of that problem. But if it helps you, fine. But don't smoke at a party. Drink.
Over here, please.
Hi, thank you so much for being here. I'm just excited that you're here. I am a songwriter for a living, and I'm wondering, what is your favorite song to listen to, and what's your favorite song to perform, and why? And has it been the same song for years and years, or has it evolved and changed into different songs over the years?
Everything Frank Sinatra sings, I love. You see, I like the standards. I really am not, hip hop. I have a dance school, and the young children, they all like that. But I really think it's important to have all kinds of music in your life. And I want to hear the lyric, and I can't hear the lyric if it's just so loud with the hip hop and the drums and I am very old-fashioned, I guess, that way. I love Elton John. I think he does great. A lot of the writers are wonderful. Who is the girl I play at home a lot? Well, Marilyn May, but there's the other plays piano. What? Diana Krall. Isn't she wonderful? And she plays all standards and things. So, you have a dog too. Oh, he's so cute. Well, did he meet the other one back there? We could work a little spook up. Oh, it's very cute. He's adorable.
We have another question?
That's all the standards.
Let's go here and then here in the front row.
Oh, a friend of a friend right here. What? Oh.
I remember on an episode of Will and Grace where you were playing Grace Adler's mother, you also walked in their room and announced that you didn't have panties on. Is that one of your signature tricks?
No, I wore some today. Got you again.
Over here.
Got you again. Oh, one of my sleepy boys.
What are your favorite foods, and how would you rate yourself as a cook?
I don't even know where the kitchen is. The kitchen is not for Debbie. No, it's just room service. I don't know where it is. And when I'm in the kitchen, I've burned 3 kitchens down to the ground. Yes, I forget that I'm cooking. Then I go in and go to the bathroom, and I start getting busy with something else, and whatever's cooking is cooking, and it just burns to the ground. It's not my fault. It's my fault that I had to cook. I don't cook it all. Donald lives with me, and he cooks. It's a mixed racial friendship. My favorite food is Mexican food. I like tacos. You like tacos? Tacos de enchiladas. Está muy bueno. Oh,
Let's get somebody over here. Do we have some questions over here?
I like Chinese.
Yes, over there with the
Just
cute dog.
A little bit of Chinese. Mostly I like a taco.
Have they asked
really
you to be
cheap. There's cheap white wine and a taco. You boys should meet older women. Because we don't do anything to you. We just have fun and laugh on a cheap date. We bring our own wine. I'll
Over
work
here.
something out with you boys.
Well, first of all, you are too humble about your achievement in Singing in the Rain, because you're right up there with everybody, and when I read that you didn't know what you were doing, I'm just blown away. But second of all, have they asked you to be on Dancing with the Stars?
Oh, yes, but I would never. It would be like little Sambo. Did you ever hear about Sambo, who ran around? Then he became Butter. I can't imagine rehearsing 6 weeks. I would be, where'd she go? She's that Butter, that pile of butter. Oh, she died. Yes, she didn't make it a contest. No, she didn't win. No. She was friendly, though. Very friendly. I heard she drank. And I heard she wore a wig. That's what I heard all these things about this old bitch.